How's it going, folks? Max here from Lux Fitness and Wellness Club, bringing you Fitness 101 video 4 here for the month of February. Now, over the past 3 weeks, we've gone over some different types of exercise, when to utilize that exercise, and then the big umbrella classifications for exercise that we're performing. So this week, I thought I'd go through a brief overview of some of the different modalities and tools and equipment that we utilize when performing different exercises, specifically to resistance and strength training. So again, this is going to be a really brief overview of these type of tools. They're going to have a lot of benefits to them, and I'm just going to talk about some of the main benefits as I go through them. So starting us off, one of the most common modalities and tools that we see in a gym is going to be a barbell. So what I have right here is a standard barbell. Often they're just about 45 pounds, and they come all just about the same length unless for some reason it's made to go longer or shorter. But again, that's going to be special variations of those. Now, the main benefit to a barbell is that it's considered a free weight, so it's not going to be on a track, so it's going to test our stability. We're going to be able to bilaterally load something, and because of that, seeing it's either both arms or both legs that are involved, we're going to be able to load a lot of weight on it. So say I'm in a really heavy strength block and I'm trying to progress somebody to get them stronger, using a barbell is going to be a great tool because I'm going to be able to load a lot of weight onto the object. That way I'm going to work through a lot of strength. Because it's plate loaded, I can add hundreds of pounds onto a barbell in a safe and efficient manner. Now, branching off of a barbell into two other types of free weights are going to be kettlebells and dumbbells. I'll first start talking about a dumbbell. So a dumbbell is going to be a free weight as well, but this time it's going to be one that we can unilaterally load. So it's going to be one arm, one leg, depending on what we're doing, which is going to give us the added benefit of working one part of the body at the time and then working the other. So this is often help us work through some asymmetries that we might see with one side being stronger or versus the other side. The other benefit to a dumbbell, which I have right here, almost all will look like some variation of this. We'll have a handle in the middle and weight on either side that'll equal to whatever the number on the dumbbell here it says. This is 15 pounds. So we have 7.5, 7.5, my hand being in the middle. The benefit to the dumbbell is that now I really have to focus on stability as I'm performing an exercise. So I'm able to work through some different movements that are going to force me to stabilize better than strengthening those stabilizing muscles. So that's going to be the really big benefit to a dumbbell, as well as we're going to be able to work on proprioception, knowing where our body is in space, because we're going to have two hands maybe doing something at once. We want to know what's going on with both of them. Now, branching off of the dumbbell into a similar but a little bit different free weight is going to be a kettlebell. So again, similar to the dumbbell, a kettlebell is going to have a very standard look and shape to it. So it's going to be a ball down here at the bottom with a handle on the top. Now, because of this design, we're able to do a couple different things with it. Because the dumbbell has weight on either side, it's even more stable than, say, a kettlebell is. When I do an exercise like a kettlebell bottom under press, I have to work really hard on my shoulder to stabilize that weight because this weight's going to want to rotate, fall back and forth. I have to work really hard on stabilizing it. So the biggest benefit to adding in a kettlebell is going to be the unstable nature of the weight that we then have to utilize when performing an exercise. Now, both a dumbbell and kettlebell are great, and depending on the individual and the exercise, one may be better for the other, looking at the intent that we have when we're performing it. Again, sometimes it's easier to hold a kettlebell or easier to hold a dumbbell, so the weight, it doesn't really matter, nor does the specifics, the modality. It's just easier for the client, and that's what we want to utilize. Now, moving away from free weights, we're going to talk about cable machines and bands. Now, there's a lot of benefits to these, specifically being one that they're often fixed on tracks or they're on a continuous one motion where they can't deviate from there, so we don't have to worry about the stabilization as much. So like I have behind me is a free motion cable machine. Now, the big benefit to this cable machine is that it utilizes a pulley system. Now, what this does is it allows for constant tension throughout a muscle's range of motion. When I'm utilizing a barbell, kettlebell, or dumbbell, gravity is going to be a big factor on where an exercise is the hardest versus where is it the easiest, because gravity is always pushing the weight straight down. Now, when I utilize the cable machine over here, that resistance is going to be constant throughout the whole range of motion that I'm performing. That's going to be really beneficial because now we can train a muscle through its full range of motion and not worry about where gravity is playing a part in it. Cable machines are also great because we can get ourselves in some maybe different places that we don't have to worry about stabilizing, knowing that we're safe on a fixed attached machine. Now, another similar modality is going to be a resistance band like I have here. Again, similar to a cable machine, we're going to be able to tie this off somewhere and it's going to stay in that position. But the real big benefit to the resistance band is that as it stretches, it's going to recoil back harder. So, when performing something like a pull-up, often individuals will struggle to come out of the bottom of the pull-up where their arms are fully locked out. If I put a band around them attached to the bar, as they get to the bottom, the resistance is going to be so much that it'll shoot up and become easier as they get towards the top where they're stronger. So again, talking about those force curves where a muscle is going to be stronger depending on where it is in its range of motion, I want to be able to accommodate that with a band. So I'm going to be able to use this band to make it harder where they need it and easier where they need it as well. So there you have it, folks. As you can see here at Lux, we have a bunch of different modalities and tools that we help utilize our clients get to their specific goals and meet and exceed them. As always, I hope you learned something. If you did, make sure to drop the video a like. Well, you can see us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Lux Fitness and Wellness Club, as well as contacting us at luxfitnessandwellnessclub.com to get you started on your journey to a better you, whether that's gaining muscle, losing weight, or just getting overall healthier. That's what we guarantee we will help you do. As always, folks, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you next week in the new month for March as we go over some different topics. Have a good one.